Books that have insane time jumps that make me want to jump into traffic. And before I show you my recent 6-star read, I think it's important to say that these are book recs for the people that love emotional damage. I just read The Bittersweet Symphony duet. Like, what did Kate Stewart put in these? Rockstar romance, but not in like a super cliche way. I had no idea what I was getting into with these books because no one talks about it. So I'm gonna give you some information, but keep it very brief. The first book, Drive, takes place in Austin, Texas, near my personal stomping grounds. And it's also during the late 90s, early 2000s, I believe. AKA the time when like the music scene was really popping off down there. Just imagine the stereotypical garage band during the time when like rock was on the rise. Okay, I just went back and looked, and chapter 1 takes place in 2005, so we have an official year. It's kind of like a rags to riches story where our MMC is at the start of his career and then our FMC is a music journalist enthusiast. And to try to keep some element of surprise for you, Reverse takes place in 2035. And that's not even the time jump that I'm referring to. I'm talking each individual book has moments where you go from chapter to chapter and you're like months ahead. I stayed up until nearly 4 a.m. trying to finish it. Drive was also really good, but it did take me a second to get into it. I think it was like the 35% mark where I was finally getting invested. After reading this, like, we had to have this book, and I have a lot more appreciation for it now that I've finished the duet. The MMC, specifically in Reverse, like, I'm speechless. I don't even know how to describe him. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that this is probably one of my all-time favorite love stories. And when we're talking about Kate Stewart, let's talk about the Ravenhood trilogy, because she is the queen of time jumps. I think I have the perfect comparison that will allow you to understand what I'm talking about. You guys remember that scene in the Twilight Saga where Bella is literally just sitting, staring out the window, and the seasons change, the weather's change, and you know that so much time has passed and she's just like stuck in this depression? Something like that happens, and it's very painful. This is like mysterious, small town, secret society that's kind of like biker gang vibes. There's also a lot of history with the town and the people. Each book is vastly different from the other, and I think a big reason of why it feels that way is because this timeline takes place over the course of years. I'm not gonna say how many, but just know that the journey is very long, but worth it. I also have the Edge of Darkness trilogy, and this is dark romance. Let me start by saying that. The time jumps in this one are more in a sense of like, you go into the future, and then you have flashbacks throughout mostly the first 2 books. I think the best way to explain this, that Insatiable, the first book in the trilogy, takes place after a bunch of drama happened with our main couple. So there's a lot of hatred, animosity, and history between them that we don't know until it's exposed through the flashbacks. But the fact that it's formatted that way makes you want to keep reading to fully understand their story. There are so many different misunderstandings that make their lives hell. And